There it goes. Yay! So welcome, guys. I was telling everyone on here that we typically don't, if this is your first time on a call, welcome. We typically don't do our team calls this way, but once in a while, my success partner, Ashlie, and I like to get together, and we like to just kind of do a live Q&A to just open it up to just any questions or suggestions that you guys have. And she has her team on here, and I have my team on here, and it's just kind of like a big old party. But did you want to, well, I'm going to put speaker view. There we go. Yay. Do we have a chat?
Yeah, let's see if the chat. So you can type it in the, yes, we're both rocking our little beanies, unplanned, but I hope I don't catch her cold. Yeah. So you can either type it in the chat box or, unmute yourself. I did have a question. I don't know if you had any questions, Leticia, that someone posted in the group, but I did have a question when I posted about how I plan my months. So, and like organize it. So honestly, I don't know if I'm like the best at this. I think, Leticia, you're probably a little better about this. That is a goal. I mean, organization is not my strong suit. So it's a goal of mine in 2016 to be more organized. But in the beginning, like, it's always my goal to hit Success Club I like to do Success Club 5 by the 5th and 10 by the 10th. And that way it just takes the pressure off the rest of the month. And then I can focus on recruiting coaches or helping my team or follow-ups or whatever. This month is really hard for me. So I'm still haven't hit Success Club. So I'm just sending more follow-ups and sending more messages. And so this month the plan isn't really working, but I mean, it'll work. It'll be fine. But sometimes, you have a plan and then it just doesn't go the way that you thought it would. But normally I always start my group either the first or second Monday of the month. I like to do the second Monday because then if you have any last minute people that order, like if there's a promo that, this month Hammer and Chisel is on sale and we're starting the group on the 4th, but that means that if people order on December 31st, they're not going to have their program in time. Now it's not as big of a deal because of on demand, but I used to like to do it that second week so that if you have those last minute people squeezing in, they get their program and everything in time for the group. And then, so I really focus, like, probably my first 2 weeks of the month are really strong hitting Success Club. And then after that, I kind of shift gears into recruiting coaches more, but I also want to be doing both all month. So I don't stop talking about my challenge groups or inviting people for that second 2 weeks of the month because I'm going to then need to talk to them again next month. And I'm recruiting all month long. And same with coaching. So I try to, like, at least once a day, I try to post about some sort of freedom or benefit that coaching has given me. But that's what I would say. And then we've only done it a couple times this year if you're on my team, but we're going to do it monthly next year, the 5-day sneak peek. And that will always be like the second or third week of the month. So it fits right in line with trying to focus on recruiting coaches more towards the second half. And then that way you can also put them into the training that was starting at the beginning of the month. But I think you're a lot more organized than me, Leticia.
We do very some, oh, no, what are you doing? I hope it doesn't kick me out like last time. No. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's very similar. I do plan out my months because we do have, so on our team, we have a monthly 7-day clean eating group. That's always the third week every single month. And I do it that way so that when it finishes, people can invite those people from the free cleaning group into an upcoming paid group and hopefully get some last minute Success Club points in there in that last one. And then our sneak peek group, it's also the third week of the month. And I do it that way because we have a new coach training group, Coach Basics, every first Monday of each month. So that works really nicely. When that 3-day sneak peek group ends, that weekend, we're like, all right, everyone who signs up this, right now, you're going to get plugged in on Monday to our new coach training group. And that kind of puts a little urgency behind those who are kind of thinking about doing it. And yeah, challenge groups usually won the beginning of the month too, and we usually win at the end if I see like I still need a few more points or my coaches need a few more points. But I do sit down and like plan out the month, and I try to make it to where the 7-day cleaning group falls into the next time we're going to have a 21-day fixed group, or the sneak peek one falls into I think Melanie Mitchell has a really good video on that as well, how she plans out her month. And I do the same, like the first 2 weeks, I really focus on me achieving Success Club. So I talk a lot more about my groups, upcoming groups, and what I'm doing and progress. And then the last 2 weeks, again, because that 3-day sneak peek group is coming up, and then I talk more about the coaching. But like Ashlie too, there's never a time where I don't talk about either one of them. Like, that's always just like I just blend it in, I weave it in into everyday posts, like what this business has done for me. Or like yesterday, I was with my mom all day. I took her shopping. So, I found an opportunity to talk about that. It was Monday. I spent all day with my mom. I didn't have to ask for a day off. I didn't have to ask for sick days. Things like that. I'm always thinking of how can I tie in the freedom and what Beachbody has done for me into just my everyday life posts. But I'm with Ashlie. I feel like organization could be a little better. I think it has gotten better. And then what I do is I make a calendar and I share it with my team so that we're all kind of on the same page, and they know when all the groups are going to start. So I think since we started doing that, it's worked a little better, and we've had more organization. Everyone knows, that sneak peek group is this day, so we can start, promoting it. The 7-day group is this day, we can start promoting it. Sorry.
Yeah, Kelsey, I think her clean eating group is for your entire team, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What do you, I'm just going to go down this list unless someone wants to unmute themselves, but what do you suggest to help us reach more people in the month of December? Be super active and aggressive. You're going to have to, you guys, I am at Success Club 3, and I have, on average, I probably get 40 Success Club points a month. So 3 is pretty heartbreaking and scary for me right now. But I have 100% faith that I'm going to at least get to 10. But I am working my butt off right now. I am just working harder than I have all year. I am sitting down and I'm setting structured work time. I am sending messages to people. I am being just super diligent about my power hour. So yesterday I sat down, and if you're in my team, I'm not sure if you shared it with yours, Leticia, but I followed up. I sent probably 50 follow-up messages, just connecting with people, just wanting to talk to them. And a lot of people were just oh, thanks so much. Great to hear from you. How are your holidays? And it didn't lead into anything, but that's okay, because if I just keep staying in touch with them, they're going to probably be a customer of mine eventually, because they did reach out initially asking for help. And then I did have some people saying, yes, I'm feeling gross, I want to get started. But I am working a lot harder now than I have all year. And I mean, it's stressful and it's difficult and you're getting a lot of no's, but I have this go for no challenge. So I'm celebrating every no that I get, because that means I'm talking to more people. And the more no's you get, the more yeses. So there's not there's not a great sexy secret way to do it, or people hiding that top coaches have access to that you guys don't have access to, where these are the yes people and you only get no people. That doesn't exist. So you just have to do the hard work. And the way that you what's really tempting to do is to just kind of cruise and say, oh, whatever, people aren't wanting to get healthy this time of year and I'm just getting too many no's. I'll just talk to them all in the new year. I just will give up on that. The way that you finish 2015 is the way that you're going to start 2016. So if you're planning to have a really strong January and February and capitalize on those New Year's resolution people, you have to show up every day in December, because if you don't, you're not going to have a big January or February. You just won't. The seeds that you're planting now, they harvest in the next month or the month after that. Like, the seeds you're doing this month are going to harvest in the next 3 months. So in December, the seeds that you're harvesting this month, you've been working on for the last several months. Like, that's why you have to show up all the time. But December's just tough because people, they don't have a lot of extra income. But if people really want it, I've had a lot of people say that they want, they're going to talk to their husband or whatever, and they want it to be their Christmas present. So it's not impossible. There are probably hundreds of coaches, if not thousands, who have already hit Success Club, who are talking to people. You just have to work harder. I don't know, Leticia, do you have something more helpful than that, other than just do it?
I mean, it's true. We just have to work harder. And I know my team and I, we've been talking about this since August, so we can get prepped. I let them know, guys, November, December, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. It's just, that's just the way this business is. Like any other business, you think about an ice cream business, right? I'm pretty sure winter is their slowest time of the season. And so for Beachbody, this is the slowest time for us. And it's going to be like that every single year. It's just the way the business is. There's nothing that you're doing wrong. It's nothing that's, it's going to change. Something that I talk with my coaches, and I know you, Ashlie, you guys did this last year. We did it too, but free groups, 5-day free groups here and there. I know before I've done an actual challenge on my actual Facebook. And I've said something like, hey guys, I know winter sucks, getting motivated. Who wants to stay motivated with me and do an ab challenge for the next 5 days? Comment below and I'll tag you every single day. Yeah, that's not selling me challenge packs, but that's helping me build relationships. And so what I did is every day at 7 p.m. I'm going to post, it'll be 1 or 2 little ab videos and I'll tag everyone. And what did that do? Every time I tagged someone, well, all the people that they're, friends with saw that so-and-so was tagged. I did it on my personal page. I don't know if I did it last year or the year before. I think it was last year. But just little creative things like that. Crock pot groups. I know a lot of people do a lot of crock pot groups around right now. App challenge. You can do even, instead of groups, do it in an event. Just kind of change things up. It's just somewhere where you're just very present in people's newsfeed. And you are still building relationships, planting those seeds, because hey, if you help people for free, November, December, come January when they're ready to make their investment, or a little bit before January, they're going to come to you, more likely. But it's just, and not only that, but I think it helps you stay motivated. You're running a group, it's maybe just 5 days, 10 days, whatever, but it's giving you something to do. It's giving you something to look forward to, so that, like Ashlie said, you don't hit snooze. But there's lots of really creative ways out there for you just to kind of stay. I know last year we did, as a team, we did a 15-day fitness group. I don't remember, where every day we just posted a video, a recipe, motivation, and we did that for 15 days. I didn't do it this year with my team because I just have a lot more groups to handle, but that's what I've been suggesting my groups. And then I know I had someone on my team, her name is Shirley. She was going to do one, and she was kind of bummed that she hadn't had a lot of people, reach out about it. So what I told her is do teaser posts. So what I do is oh man, I can't believe we already have 45 people in our free 7-day group that starts in the week. Holy crap, whatever. So anytime you do teaser posts, you're more likely to get more people interested, because that just gets people curious. So I told her to try that, and just kind of tease people more about it, get them more curious about it. Or, man, I'm so excited to kick off this group. I already have all these meals planned out and these exercises planned out, whatever. It's going to be a great free 5-day group. If I left you out accidentally, comment below so I can add you. Things like that really gets people maybe I should be in there. But other than that, just hustle, work hard.
Yeah.
Go for no, like Ashlie said. We actually did the Go for No challenge in November. As a whole team, and that's one thing that a lot of coaches are hey, we got no.
Yeah, I think changing your mindset on a no is really important, and not being attached to their outcome, just supportive, whether you get a yes or a no from them, because I always say this, but if they're a no this month and you're irritated about it or pissed off and you write them off, then you're never going to get their business. But if they're a no this month, it's usually a not right now, and you're going to want their business, whether it's next month, 6 months, a year, 2 years, like you're going to want it whenever they're ready. So I just try not to stay attached to the outcome at all, and just check in with people. And I haven't been the best at follow-ups either, Heather. But you can just reach out to them again. You don't have to, I think a lot of times we overthink the inviting, and that's just going to happen naturally. So, where it's like the vital behaviors are invite. It really should just be connect. But also inviting needs to be a part of it, like connect, invite. Because just inviting to engage in another conversation with you is still an invite, and maybe that's not going to sell a challenge pack right then, but I think building relationships is really, really important. So I would just say, Heather, for those people that you drop the ball on, just reach back out to them and say, gosh, sorry, it's been so long since I reached out to you. Things have been really crazy, but I was thinking about you, how are your holidays or whatever, and just something simple to get the conversation going again. I think is totally fine. And then just keeping that in your rotation of things that you do. I was listening to a call that Bonnie did, and she said at the Bonnie Engel, I don't know if you guys are familiar, but she's a top 10 coach right now. And she said at the beginning of the month, she makes 3 lists. One are people in her current challenge group. One is people that have told her no before. And then, let me see if I can find it. I took a bunch of notes. People in her current challenge groups, new prospects to invite, and then people who have said no before. And then she just works off of those lists and makes sure that she's reaching out with them every day. And on the call, everyone was like, how many people do you talk to a day? How many of these messages? And she's like, you're overthinking it. You just want to make sure you have conversations going all the time with people. Like every day, no less than 5 conversations should be going with you and other people. And if you have conversations going all the time, then you're going to find those yeses eventually where, you're going to reach success. But if you haven't followed up with people in a while, just get those conversations going again. And, don't feel bad that you haven't followed up. I mean, you can apologize for it, but they didn't follow up with you either, And a lot of the things I noticed when I was sending all those follow-ups yesterday, people were like, because I would say, hey, did you see that last message? And people like, yeah, I did see it. I totally spaced replying. And that happens all the time. I think as Beachbody coaches, we take it personally. Like, I can see that you read this and clearly you're avoiding me, when really it's like, they read it in the grocery store with their kids running all over the place and they didn't have time to reply, or they were sitting at a stoplight or whatever, and then they just spaced it. I think we take it personal when like 99% of the time it's not at all a personal thing. So I would say just reach out to them, Heather, and start that conversation. Agreed, Leticia?
Yes, agreed.
Okay, is there another question you want to tackle? I see Trisha asked one about the 7-day crock pot, and then Angela asked about the sneak peeks. Mm-hmm. As far as the clean eating challenge group, guys, for my team, we tried to do that every month in the beginning of this year, and beginning of 2015. We did it for 3 months, and then people just became disinterested. So if that's something you want to do, all the information is in the files. It just wasn't something that I was going to take on and own every month for the year, because I feel like I had, especially when I was working full time, I had like way too much going on. It's just another group for me to constantly be running. And so that is totally an awesome idea. And I think it's a great thing to do if you're wanting to plug people into a free group. Everything is there for you in the files. We even have images that have been posted you can just recycle. But it's totally there for the taking if you guys want to run those clean eating groups. And you can post it in the team, and I'm sure lots of people would jump in on that. But anyway, do you want to talk about how you run your sneak peeks, Leticia, maybe?
Yeah, sure. So we do our sneak peeks 3 days. We used to do 5, and I just noticed that like the 4th and 5th day, like people were like zoned out. Their interest had already like decreased, because it's hard to keep people interested in something. So anyway, so we cut it down to 3 days, and I feel like that's good. It's not too much, and it's not too long. But basically, every day I'm sharing about 2 videos a day, and they're just talking about objections. So the first one is just, do I have to be a certain way? Do I have to, look a certain way, be a certain way, be in my ideal weight? Because, that's where first thing a lot of people say is like, oh, I still need to lose 30 pounds, whatever. So I handle that objection. And then like the other videos is like, do I have to be a salesperson? Do I have to have a huge social media following? What's the other ones? I don't ever talk about the pyramid scheme, but maybe I should put it in there. But it's just pretty much, I'm just talking about objections that people usually have. And then I asked my leaders also to share a video of just like how they got started with Beachbody and how Beachbody has changed their life. Because, so far my team, I've been the only one to retire, as a teacher, but that can be very non-relatable to a lot of people, like that can be so far off. So I asked my leaders to share just, so one video a day from 3 leaders, and they just share their story a little bit as well. And then I do talk about income in there, and I show how much I'm earning now, but I make sure to really paint the picture that, it was a lot of work. It's not easy. And I always say, like, it's not easy, especially in the beginning. It takes time. Like the first couple, my first page was like $47, whatever. But I do talk about income because I feel like if people are looking to work this as a business, then, it's important for them to know that, yeah, this can have, be so business where you can earn, substantial amount of income. But that's pretty much it. And then like the last day, it's like, how do you sign up? And I talk about the either $40 or the challenge pack, and I talk about the recurring $17 monthly fee. We talk about that as well. That's how we run ours.
Ours is basically the same. We just do 5-day. And it's the same thing. There's like a topic every day. First day is introduction. So it's really like a 4-day thing. Cause the first day is just introductions. And then, talk about building your social media following, how you make money, and then the potential that you can make. I can't remember what the third one is that we talk about. And then the fourth one is just how to enroll in some of the incentives, like telling them about the free trips and stuff. But my favorite part of the groups is when the coaches post their story in there about like what, how they got started with coaching and what it's done for them. For me, that's my favorite part. And I also think it shows the other people that are in the group that success is not just for, a one size fits all, because it's all these different people that have seen it on different levels. Some financially, some emotionally, some physically, some a little bit of all of it. So I love that aspect of it. But we're going to start doing those every single month, Angela, and those will just be team wide, and you can add your people in there. But I love them, and we've seen pretty good results from it as far as people signing up from it. Trisha, I'm not sure about that group. My guess with 265,000 people is that they just opened it for anyone, and we could all join, and probably anyone can be in there. And I'm guessing it's not really used as a sales platform. Like if I were running a group like that, if I weren't a Beachbody coach and I was running a group like that, if people tried to sell in there, I would remove them from the group and just keep it strict like that. So I'm not sure how you go about advertising something like that, or if that would really even benefit building your business. Because if you have 265,000 people in there and they're coming for a crock pot thing, they might not be interested in your Beachbody stuff. I don't know.
I was just curious because when that went off, it went off like mad. Like everybody in my group got it. I was seeing my customers kind of join that, and it starts, I think, January 1st or something like that. And it links over to her 21-day fix blog. And I've been doing a lot of experiments with events, even, boosting some of them. But like, my God, like however that spread like mad, it was like all within like a week, like everybody was joining that. In fact, I just looked back, it's like 500,000 people are in that crockpot group. So certainly it's probably not manageable, like long-standing, even to like expand your list with that big of a list. But I was just curious if anybody's
I haven't even heard of it. Have you heard of it, Leticia?
No, but I'm thinking maybe she paid a good amount to boost it. Usually whenever they get that much of attention, it's like some coaches really invest like $100, $200 to boost their post, like or not top coaches, but I mean, it's up to you how much you want to, but I'm thinking that might be help. And then with people just sharing it, it went kind of crazy. I don't think I would want a group that big, at all to manage, but
just go emulate it. If she did it and it worked for her, you could do something other than a crock pot, but you could do something like quick lunch, or you could even do another crock pot group. I mean, there's two people here. I mean, I don't know how many people on this, who on this call besides Trisha, raise your hand if you have heard of that crock pot group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's still 7 people out of 31, which isn't like a huge poll, Trisha. But that means that there's most people probably still haven't seen that group. So if you wanted to just create a clean eating group, you absolutely, a crock pot group, you could, and just try it, but emulate it. Use kind of her similar words and see, I don't know, but 500,000 people seems super daunting to me. I mean, it would be exciting, but it seems a little crazy. I don't know how she did it, but you could just play around with it, I guess.
Yeah, I guess just really quick. I think it's a good way with those events to expand your list, right? So I think I was telling you, Ashlie, like I'm through my friend list, my Hey Girl messages. So I'm like cycling back through. So I did a 90-day group in October, and I have like 40 people who, some of them are doing the fix, some of them bought the fix, some of them are on the fence on Shakeology. So I have 40 new customers that I'm working with from October through January. Certainly I haven't been too successful in converting them, but like to scale that crockpot group to kind of a manageable size, but bigger than 40 is kind of, I think, a great way to broaden your reach and get some new folks to make a connection with you. So now I have like 90 days with these folks, and a lot of them are local. So they've been coming to my size class on Friday nights too. So building relationships is great with those. It's just trying to make it a little bit bigger, not 500,000. I think there's just, some lessons and some tweaking to do to try to get that to work for us.
Yeah. I mean, I just think, anything that you can do, like that you see someone else that's, being successful with it, playing around and experimenting, because like, I don't feel like that clean eating crockpot group would work for me and the people that I've been speaking to. But clearly this is like I just went and scrolled the page for a minute, and I feel like she has those customers that are interested in that. And so if you've been already working with something like that, like I just think whenever I see a coach do something that is interesting, I try it in my own way, and see if I have success with it or not. So, I would do it. And then if it works for you, let us know. But I think for sure expanding your list and having more people to reach out to, even if they're not purchasing from you right away, just building that relationship and people getting to know your face and stuff is good. Okay. Let's see. Any other questions? I'm trying to. Oh. Do you see any questions, Leticia?
So Vanessa asked, do we suggest to have a like page, or is it okay to manage from our personal page? We talked about this, Vanessa, I think you're new, last week. Everyone has like their own, that's the beauty of this beauty. Everyone runs it differently. My personal opinion, and what I tell my coaches, is that I wouldn't jump into a like page from day one, because it is something that you need to take time with and learn how to use it effectively, take trainings on, read books about. Like if you really want to use your like page and be really effective of it, it's going to take time and it's going to take investment as well. And then when you're brand new, like you're learning like the back office and new coach training, I feel like that's a lot to jump into. So what I suggest my coaches is to use their personal page. And once you've hit Success Club consecutively for like 3 or 4 months, then, and you feel like, okay, cool. Like, you know, like I got this down. I know, you know, I'm used to posting 3-4 times a day, one about Beachbody. I'm used to all of that. Then I would move on to a like page. I know other coaches are like, no, you need to open a like page from day one. Again, everyone runs this business differently. Like, you know, for me, when as a new coach, I did Shalene Johnson's Instagram Academy my first year. I've done Marie Smith's Facebook Queens Academy. I've read the book Crush It. I'm reading the Jab, Jab, Right Hook. I've invested tons of times on YouTube videos on how to run ads and, you know, read Marie Smith's newsletter that she sends. So, because I want to be really good at running a like page. It is a business page, and the way Facebook is, like, they're always changing things and their algorithms and all of this. So if you just open one up and you don't take the time to actually learn how to effectively use one and learn, you know, one of the good times to post and learn about your insights and, you know, who your followers are, then it's not going to do you much good if you don't have the time just yet to truly learn how to use one, if that makes sense. But then I'll also say this, don't put it off for too long. Like, don't let it scare you. It's not hard at all. It's just tricky. I mean, Facebook can be tricky, but if you take the time to learn these tricks, or not tricks, but if you just take the time to learn how to use it effectively, it's great, because you can boost posting. I mean, you can reach thousands of more people, and you don't have to worry about, you know, having people on your personal page. And then also, like, Facebook will crack down on you if you're using your personal page to do a lot of business. Like, you're using a lot of links, like sign up here, which we shouldn't be doing because that's super salesy. Facebook will crack down on you because you're not supposed to use your personal page as a business page. So that's my take on that. What do you think, Ash?
Yeah, I always say, like, I struggle because Shalene Johnson, I think everything she says is like gold, and she's like oh, was I echoing for a minute? She's like, you have to start a like page, like, do that immediately. But I also feel like in the beginning, it's good to start working with your warm market, because it can be hard to get your warm market to come over onto a like page. And I think a like page is a job. I think you need to be showing up for it to work. There are people that like have like pages and they don't show up consistently, and it just doesn't work because Facebook is always changing the algorithm. Like, I am always trying to figure out what Facebook wants me to post so it'll show people my stuff. And I know, you know, a lot of people think, oh, it's really annoying that Facebook makes you pay money. I think it's brilliant because you can target exactly who you want to target. So I can target people only in the US or Canada, women in the US or Canada between the ages of 26 and 46, who like, you know, I have like things that I'm interested in. So I have like, you know, alcohol, pit bulls, fitness, food, like all these things. And I can send my ad. If I'm going to spend $10, I can talk exactly to who I want to talk to. And you can do it even more. You can do like stay-at-home moms, or, you know, people with no kids, or, you know, whatever. But you can target your market that way. So I boost usually at least one post a week. And I think it's just playing around, but I feel like it is much more of a commitment, and you need to be showing up at least 2 to 3 times a day on your like page. You need to be a consistent presence on your like page. Whereas on your personal page, you don't have to maybe be as consistent. I do think as a coach, you need to show up every single day. And I would like to see at least 2 posts a day. If it's on your personal page, then you do like 1 fitness related and 1 just things about your life. And as you start posting more, you want to put more things that are about your life, and maybe, I don't know, if I'm posting like 6 times a day, then probably 2 of them are going to be fitness related. And then the rest of them, the other 4, are just going to be about my life or other things I want to be known for, or I want, you know, to be my brand. As far as if you have both, how you balance the 2, you will get a different answer, I feel like, from every coach you talk to. So I know Bonnie, says that she posts the exact same thing on her pages. Maybe if she like takes a picture from this side and she posts that on her personal page, then she'll take a picture from this side and post that on her like page, but it's the same content. And she recycles content too. So she'll like use a different picture, but have the same text. I tend to, this is just kind of like organically how it's done it. I haven't done it based off research or anything that works for me, or anything that I feel like is a equation that will work for everyone. But what I seem to do is I post more targeted stuff about health and fitness and like, I don't know, yeah, all of the health and fitness on my like page. And then I post more life and coaching stuff on my personal page. But I also post fitness on my personal page and like coaching and life stuff on my like page. I just feel like they're predominantly, my like page is more like health and fitnessy and my personal page is more coach and life. But I do want to make sure that there is some bleed through and some crossover. So that's what works for me. I always, always, always show up every single day on my like page. Sometimes there are days, like probably 3 to 4 days a week I don't post on my personal page. Leticia, you're really good about posting on both pages every single day. How do you have a thing that you do to like how you want to post between the two?
Not really. I mean, it's kind of like you do. I do mostly like my health and fitness would be on my like page, but I also share on my personal page. I don't have like a really good answer for that. One thing I will say though, and this is what I used to do in the beginning, is if you post on your like page and then you post on your personal page, don't do it at the exact same time if it's the exact same post, because someone who's following you on both can get, that could just be a little annoying if they're like seeing it. So if I do share the same post, I just did it today. This morning at 8 a.m., I shared a post on my like page. Right now at 8 p.m., I shared the exact same post. I didn't share it. I actually, just posted on my personal page. That's 2 different times. So I even try to do 2 different days if I can. And then I've also seen coaches who will post on their like page and then immediately share it to their personal page. But again, we see it 2 times right back. Something else you can do is you can actually tag your personal page. You can tag your personal page from your like page so that it's seen in both, but it's not like, double, if that makes any sense. But I'm kind of like Ashlie, like I do my personal life. I also post it on my like page. If it's something like really silly or cheesy, most likely I'll do it on my personal page. But sometimes I do silly and cheesy on my like page too. I guess I don't really have. I do make it. I am very intentional though to be present in both. I am present in my personal page. I think I have been less lately because I've been sick and then I injured my back, and so my motivation and energy is like, down. It's dead. But I am very intentional about it. Like, okay, today I'm gonna post, on my like page. But I guess I don't have a way that I, separate those 2. I know that's not a good answer. You just have to play around with it and see what works for you, and see what works for like your followers. And there's sometimes that I'll post something on my like page that I never share on my personal page, or something that I post on my personal page I never post on my like page. I guess I just depends the mood, what the post is, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, and I see Hannah just posted that she started a like page. You say you started it too early, but I'm not sure what you mean by that. Because it says you started too early and now you've been posting more on your personal page, and only 2 to 3 times a week on your like page. I'm thinking what you mean by starting your like page too early is that you're not getting engagement on it, and so you feel like your time is not well spent there, so that's why you're putting on your personal page. Is that what you mean, Hannah? If that's what you mean, I don't know where you are, if you just want to unmute yourself. But if that's what you mean, I would say if you're posting 2 to 3 times a day, the only reason that people aren't seeing your post is just because it's new. But I post, like, the reason that I say start on your personal page is because it is a job to have a like page. You do need to be consistent. But if you're consistent every day and you're showing up anyway, when I started coaching, I started Foodie Girl Fitness really almost before I started coaching. I started Foodie Girl Fitness because I didn't want to annoy people that I was friends with in my newsfeed. I like started loving Beachbody so much that that's all I wanted to talk about. But there were people, so I don't know if there, I mean, I know like Leticia's, you know, kind of religious or whatever. There's people that are religious, so I don't want to offend anyone. But when people, I had seen people get really religious that I was friends with, and then that's all they posted about, and it made me just unfollow them. Like I just didn't want to see their posts because every single post was about religion, and I'm not religious, so that didn't appeal to me. So since I became really into health and fitness, I didn't just want to only post health and fitness, even though that's all I really wanted to talk about, because not everyone's interested in health and fitness. So I started Foodie Girl Fitness as a place to be able to share that. And if they were interested in seeing that, then they could be there. So if you're posting, Hannah, 2 to 3 times a day anyway, then I would say go to your like page. And that's where you can actually build a business. Like Leticia was saying, Facebook doesn't like it if you build a business or do too much business stuff through your personal profile. They'll shut you down. So it's good that you are posting that much. You're already consistent with it. Now, just take that to your like page and then start just kind of sharing or reminding people that you have that page, and you can invite people to like it. I would, you know, pay to advertise or pay to boost some post that you think is really good, and you'll start getting that engagement come up. But I'm guessing that the reason that you think you started it too early was just because you didn't have a lot of engagement on it, and that is just because it's a brand new page. No one has a lot of engagement when they very first start their page. Like even if you become a big rock star coach, I mean, I've seen people try to go from their personal page, like Brigida Linford maxed out her friends list and then started her like page, and it was still really slow because it takes a lot of work. Not really, but it takes a lot of work for people to move over to like click that link and then go and like another page, plus then see it. So I just feel like you might as well start it now and, you know, get that, treat it like a business since you're already in the habit of doing it. I think it's good to start with your personal page as you start getting more comfortable with posting consistently and showing up every day. So hopefully that makes sense too. Hopefully, I don't know where it is.
Ashlie, I have kind of a quick question.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 questions, sorry. One, I was wondering if there is like a link that we get more back office training on like what we should be looking for, like just where everything is. And then totally separate, how finding a success partner happens. Like how did you and Leticia, you know that you guys wanted to be success partners, and how did it fit? And do you have to kind of go through like a trial and error with a few people to get there?
For training, I mean, I can make a video to show you guys. I should probably do that, like screen share what I'm looking at in my back office every day. But there's probably 100 other videos that other Beachbody coaches have put out there. Like that's where I learned how to check. Was I just Googled it and I went to YouTube and then found what other coaches do. And people do all these different things. I mean, in general, you're like checking your Success Club. Now I'm checking like my new coaches, my total downline. I'm checking my volume, checking team volume. I'm checking my sponsorship drill down to see where my coaches are at. I'm checking new orders. Like I'm doing all these things. But in the beginning, like you really just need to check your new orders. Check your new, your feed on the right. If you're building a team, check your sponsorship drill down to see where your team is at. And that's kind of like the main bits. But I think just go, put that question in Google and you'll find 100 and, type Beachbody with it, like how to back office tour Beachbody or something like that. And find, someone that, I don't know. And also everyone has different tips. So I have learned things from several different coaches because of, different videos that I've watched. So, that's what I don't know, unless Leticia, do you have one that you recommend that off the top of your head is really good or that you've made?
No.
Yeah, I would just go Google it. Cause I can't think of it of one off the top of my head. I know I learned about reporting from Brigida. But Scotty Hobbs was one of the first coaches where I saw like what his and it's like one of his most viewed videos on YouTube. But it was like the first 10 things he does every day, and he tells you kind of about what he does. But anyway, so that's my answer to that. And then the second one for success partner, Leticia and I don't know if there's really like a right way to find a success partner. The way that Leticia and I found each other is I was just noticing that like we seem to be at the same level in our business. She would go emerald, I was emerald, then diamond, and 1 star, 1 star. I think it was like around diamond or 1 star mark where we started working together, and then we really solidified things as we were pushing for 2 star together. But we kept, and then like everything that we've done, I think we went 4-star in the exact same day. We went 5-star 1 week apart. Like, we've just been super in sync with our business, and we got lucky. And it's lucky that we like each other so much because we had met in person. But I had worked with some people that I really liked, and I saw Leticia when she went on the cruise was hanging out with those people, and I saw how supportive she was on them on social media, and I knew that we were like in the same place in the business. So I just reached out to her and said, do you want to be success partners? And it was like kind of weird at first. We had some growing pains. It was like we tried to set up these, standing calls, and we tried to do a few different things that just didn't, like, okay, when we call, let's talk about these things. And it just didn't really work, and it wasn't, and then we found our groove when we were pushing for 2-star, and now we talk I think we talk pretty much every day over text or voice message, or on Mondays we have our call. But I think, reach out to people. If you guys I think a success partner is huge. Like, I think Leticia and I can both say having each other has for sure helped us move our businesses forward. But just start looking. You don't want to go to your upline, and you don't want to go to anyone in your downline. They need to be someone that's totally separate from your business, that doesn't impact your business at all. And just start looking at people that are like, that you see are, maybe joined around the same time as you, and then they're also an emerald, and that they have big goals. Like, I know you have big goals with this business, so you don't want someone that's like a hobby coach when you're a business builder, because that's not really going to push you or help you grow. So you want someone that's also showing up consistently, and just like try a few out. Just message them and say, hey, do you want to be and you can have more than one success partner at a time, and you'll see what one kind of, I don't know. That's what I would say. Leticia.
Okay. And do they have to be like at the same level? I mean, obviously it's not going to be like an emerald and like a 2-star diamond, but I mean, like a ruby and an emerald. I mean, can it be like that, or does it have to be the same way?
It can be a coach and an emerald or a coach and a diamond. I think it doesn't matter as much rank as goals and drive and maybe lifestyle, to be able to match up there. Leticia.
Oh, good. I was going to say, we actually Ashlie and I did a Fit Funky team call on this subject specifically. So
and what's your call that number too?
You can go check out the call, or Ashlie can share it and I can share it too. But we talked like specifics, like what things you could talk with each other when you do find one, how we met and all of that. But we really gave like all the details on that. But yeah, it's, I remember on the call I said something like it's like a relationship, I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Because I think I had like 2 or 3 before I had Ashlie, and they just didn't.
Okay, so I'll call you soon.
So you might have to go through a few until you find that person. But like I said, it really does help. If anything, just to have someone there, just to bounce off ideas, to run groups together, to do things like this together, and then just to be there, like, support each other too. It really helps when you're going through a rough time, like someone who understands exactly what you're going through, because it's hard to explain it to people who aren't.
And then one last thing to say on that is, if you are working with a success partner now, or maybe, Elizabeth, you find one, and they aren't working for you, you can't feel bad about not investing in that relationship anymore. A success partner needs to be helping you grow and filling you up. And if they're, taking from you, or you guys are not on the same page, like you want to go far with this, and they're just kind of, ho-hum, whatever, like hobby coach, like, there is a place for hobby coach and discount coach, but if you can work together if you both are on that same level. But if one of you is a business builder and one of you is a hobby coach, or one of you, is totally like over here and the other one's way over here, it's not going to work, and you can't feel bad about that, because at the end of the day, if you can't blame your success on anyone else. This is your business. You have to run it, and you need, like, I had to clean out my life of relationships that weren't serving me and things that weren't serving me, because even if, that's going to hurt someone's feeling, you don't have to say to them, like, hey, this isn't working. You suck as my success partner. I'm going to find another one. You just sort of stop, like, engaging as much and start, reaching out with other people, and it'll just organically, naturally happen. They're going to reach out to you less. And chances are, if they're not serving you, you're not serving them either. So it's a good thing for both people to kind of break up, like Leticia, said with the relationship. So don't feel bad, because I know there are some people who have come to me and are struggling with their success partner, and it's okay to break up.
So someone mentioned Platinum Presenters University. Actually want to bring that up. Danielle did a leader call this last week. Christine Dwyer, who's like our great grandma, I guess. I don't know. She's like, who created all of us. Our businesses. She has created this new website that's called Platinum Presenters University. And Danielle kind of took us on I don't think I have access to it yet, on a tour last week. And she's great information back there. Like there's a 14-day coach sign up. Like if you're ready to spread your wings and start like your own coach training group for your new coaches, this is a great place to send them. But I was going to share my screen really quick and just kind of show you guys. But there's so much. Like Christine Dwyer basically spent like a whole day making all these videos and trainings, and this is free for us because we are part of Platinum. What is it called? Platinum Presenters. You first have to ask for access on the Platinum Edge website, but we all have access because we're part of Christine Dwyer's downline. I don't know if I have this. But anyways, I did just want to bring it up here because there's so much good information on here. I want to start implementing this with, sometime in the next year. And again, this is stuff already all created. You don't have to, I don't think I have access to it yet, boo. But anyways, you first go to Platinum Edge. I don't think I spelled that right.
I don't even know what Platinum University. Oh, that's where she puts all her videos. That's what that thing is called.
That's not it.
No, platinumpresenters.com.
Oh yeah. She created. Remember, she was talking about this at the.
Yeah, I didn't know it was called the university.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
What is it called? Platinum Presenters.
Yeah, platinumpresenters.com.
So, this is Rachel speaking. I signed up, and you have to sign up first in Platinum Presenters University. If you're not already signed up there, you have to do that first. And then when you have to sign up for her newsletter, there's a Google Doc that you fill out using this platinumpresenters.com. There's a newsletter that you have to sign up first, and then they'll give you access to that Platinum Presenters University, and they'll email you your username and your password. So yeah.
And it's good stuff. You've been using it, right, Rachel?
Yeah, I actually have been looking around on there and have my husband on there, and one of my new coaches also checking it out. So she's got a lot of great stuff on there.
Cool. So you come to this page, guys. It's just platinumpresenters.com. First, you have to request access from here. And there's a place where you go in and it just, right here, register for access. And it's going to ask for your email. You have to, and it's very specific. You have to be using the same email that you linked up your Beachbody account with. And your Facebook name needs to match your back office name too, is what she says. But even this right here, this Platinum Edge website, all these recorded calls, let's training, and then sometimes she'll do like boot camps as well, like Diamond Boot Camps, Star Diamond Boot Camps. But again, these are resources that are free at our fingertips that we can share, that you can share with your coaches, with yourself. But yeah, and it says right here, sign up and click here for the new coach training portal. But that Platinum Presenters University, Danielle was taking us through it. I don't have access to it yet. It's awesome stuff back there. I mean, she has, like, she even took Coach Basics that Beachbody has done, the 60 days, and she made 60 videos. Like, she made it all into videos. So if you have new coaches, all you have to do is tell them how to get access to it, and they go through that 14-day new coach training. The way it works is like, she only lets you do one a day. So once you complete it, the next day you get an email, all right, you're ready for day 2. This way you don't overwhelm yourself. And again, just more useful tips for you and your coaches that you can start to use. So I just want to bring that up. Someone mentioned Platinum Presenters University. I haven't talked to my team too much about it yet because I wanted to first go back here and explore. But it's back there and it's free and it's available to us because we are part of Danielle's, team, and then Danielle's part of Jackie's team, and Jackie's part of Christine Dwyer's team.
She's like our great great grandma.
Yeah, something like that. She's awesome.
And just a quick plug for the Platinum Edge. I'm sure you talked about it on your team call. I know I talked about it on my team call, but the Platinum Edge is like, Summit is amazing because you get to see what we do as Beachbody coaches, and the energy there. Like I always say that the energy at Summit in Nashville, it feels like it could power the whole city. There's so much energy. You're like so pumped to be a coach. It's amazing to bond and all these things. But the Platinum Edge was the best training that I've ever had, and it's much smaller. But I had so many takeaways, like pages of notes, things I wanted to implement. It was so awesome, and it's not 25,000 people. It's like I think it was only 1,000. Or something, so it's much more manageable. You get to work out. Like Shalene presented to us twice and did a live workout, and she's been there the last couple of years, I think, and it's just amazing. So I just want to plug that. If you can plan that, it's September 23rd through the 25th or something like that in Dallas, Texas. But quick plug for that.
Yeah.
Okay, did we get everything answered?
Michelle asked about peak times for where to post.
Mm.
Do you recommend prepping all your posts ahead of time? And if so, how do you do that? The way if you have a like page and you go to your insights, Facebook will specifically tell you this peak times that your followers are on. I showed my team that last week. Here, I'll show you guys really quick. It's really cool. This is another reason why having a like page is pretty cool when you're ready to commit to it and you're ready to learn from it, because it's very specific. Oh, what is all this? So you come here just to your insights, and it'll tell you specifically so this is your post, how well they do. So this is how you can kind of say, oh, this post sucked, nobody liked that, or this post did really well, I need to do more of these. For me, my videos do the best, and so that's why I try to make it a daily activity to post videos. But if you come here to let's see, reach, is it reach? There's all these, especially you're a graph freak, you're gonna love this. It's graphs and but right here, so it tells you specifically the peak times. For me, my peak time for my audience is 8 p.m. and I'm in Central Time. The lowest is obviously 6 a.m. 7 a.m. And it's cool because I used to worry about hurrying up and having to post something in the morning, and now I'm well, I don't really need to, because my people don't start to show up on my like page or my my peak times to 8 a.m. Noon is another really high one. So this tells me, okay, my important posts, my call to actions need to be either 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. That way I don't waste a good post and I don't waste time. Another really cool thing about this, and I also found this, it tells me specifically 50% of my followers are between ages 25 and 34, and it tells me 96% of my fans are women and 3% are male. So this tells me I'm not going to go and promote Body Beast for a men's group, right? I have only 3% of my followers are men, so I get to, I know that my posts need to be targeted to women. And that they always are. But it's that thing, it's don't try to reach everyone, because then you don't reach anyone. You have to be specific with your posts, so you can just, your vibe attracts your tribe and narrow your audience. Because I know we think, I don't want to narrow it, I want huge, but no, because people need to be attracted to you and what about you cause them. But anyways, that's how you can look at the inside of a like page. If you don't have a like page and you're using your personal page, play around with it. It's the same thing for my personal page. 8 to 9 p.m. on my personal page are my high peak times for me personally. I mean, sometimes in the morning will do good, but not so much. But it depends on your audience and where you are, and you have to play with it until you find out, oh, okay, this post did really good at this time, or it's terrible at 3 p.m. What about for you?
Yeah, and I one of the questions that I had about that, and I'm not sure, maybe Ashlie, if you can speak to it or whatnot. Anyways, so I just found that graph last night and was super excited about it. and realized that some of my audience's peak times or peak activity is at 2 p.m. and that's smack in the middle of my day job. And so I was wondering if when you guys weren't full-time coaches, if you remember, like, did you have tips and tricks for getting that like midday post in or that third or fourth post if it's falling in the middle of your workday?
I use Buffer app. Do you use Buffer? It's kind of
yes, but I'm gonna look it up now.
Yeah.
Buffer app.
Yeah, it's Buffer.
Okay.
And it's kind of like Hootsuite, but I like it more. I think it's more it's friendly.
User friendly.
Let's say a friendly user.
User friendly.
Yeah, user friendly, and also on your phone too. But you basically just schedule your posts. I would say that Facebook likes it more to be an actual post versus it being scheduled. But hey, being scheduled is better than not posting at all. And if you absolutely need to schedule it, then use Buffer app. It even lets you do videos, pictures. You just make the post in the app. You put what time you want it to get out, and it'll get out into the news feed. That's what I did as a teacher.
And I think, I don't know if you can in Buffer, but if you schedule it just through Facebook on the Facebook page, you know, because you can schedule it on the Facebook page too, you can boost it then as well. So if you're going to use Buffer or something, you could maybe try to boost it for, even just like test it, like $2, just to test. I think it has to be at least minimum of $1 a day, but you could just pay $2 or something and boost it and see if really 2 p.m. because 2 p.m. seems like the shake?
John making a shake.
Yeah, he's making a shake.
Every single night at the same time. Just saying.
Every
Single call at the same exact time.
Hey, leave me alone.
I love it. It's so inspiring.
But 2 p.m. seems like a weird time to me, Michelle. So, but maybe that's just the people that you're reaching out to. The other thing that you could do is have a post in your phone, like get. Can you guys hear me okay, or is that shake really loud? Okay. That's why I was like, God, turn it off! Because I always think it's so loud, but then someone told me Mac has like a sound thing that it like blocks background sound. But anyway, you could have the picture and the post ready. Like I did that today. Because I just had some time, so I like put a bunch of posts together in my phone. I got the pictures ready, and then I have the text ready. So then I'll just copy them, and then it's going to take me 10 seconds to post because I already have it all good, ready to go. So then, as you're going to the bathroom or something, you just take a potty break and you just post it really quick. So that's another thing that you can try if you don't want to schedule it or whatever.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Thank you guys for staying on. Heather had to run, which is totally fine. Hootsuite. The one thing about Buffer and Hootsuite is it does say, like, I like to buffer in my challenge groups to say, to post so that it's always posting, but it will say, like, via Hootsuite or via Buffer. And I think that's where Leticia is saying, like, Facebook doesn't, in your challenge group doesn't matter, but on your like page, Facebook doesn't like to promote other people, like other platforms, so they like it if it's just straight through Facebook. But I think that's it, right? Is there any other questions anyone has?
I guess we can do one last one. Rachel asked if we are outsourcing anything yet.
Oh yeah,
just hearing a lot about outsourcing. I'm not yet. The next thing we want to have in January is outsourcing the cleaning around here because it is true. Like, if someone else can do it, that frees up a lot of your time. And mainly, like, if you hear Shalene Johnson talk about it all the time, she says, yeah, it might be an investment at first, but if you think about it, that's time that you could be using to work your business. So that's going to be the first step for me, is outsourcing a cleaning lady to help with the cleaning. And then I am thinking of maybe next year of looking into a virtual assistant to maybe help with like graphics. Excuse me. Ashlie loves to use PicMonkey and graphics. Not that I hate it, but it's just I'm not as excited about it as she is. So maybe that's something that I can outsource. But that's definitely something that I'm looking forward to in the new year. What about you, Ash?
Yeah, we outsourced cleaning. because I hated it and my husband was doing all of it and it just wasn't fair and it kind of started to bother him a little bit. He was like, I feel like I'm living with a 2-year-old because I was like a tornado just leaving stuff everywhere. So we outsourced cleaning. I need to outsource more things for my business. I think having images would be great, but I love doing them, but I'm considering doing it again because I spent like 3 hours on an image earlier this month, and then Facebook showed it to like 86 people or something, and I have over 14,000 people on my page, and they showed it to like 86 people and gave me the big middle finger and showed me, this is not a good use of your time, Ashlie, to spend 3 hours on something no one's going to see. And it wouldn't let me boost it, of course. So I think also like putting together those monthly shout out boards, those promotion or the leaderboards that I put together, those take me like 3 hours. And then having people send messages like birthday. I know some people have their assistants send birthday messages, or like Leticia can have her assistant transcribe things from English to Spanish so she can start running more Spanish groups. But there's all kinds of things, and I really do believe in it. So it will be something that I will do. It's just going to be that I have to be comfortable with letting go of some stuff, because, everyone thinks I can do this better than anyone else. But if you're trying to do everything, then I'm just like a mess. So I need to outsource. So it will absolutely happen. Plus it's a write-off. So, you can have someone like find recipes or workout ideas or any, like they will literally do anything. I don't recommend, there are some coaches who outsource messages, responding to messages. And I would love to do that because those take probably the bulk of my time. But I just think that is the one thing that you really should hang on to as long as you can, because they're really trying to connect with you at the end of the day. So, doing that relationship building is important, but that will be something I haven't done a lot of it yet, but I plan to.
Yeah. And then Rachel just mentioned, some people mentioned outsourcing outsourcing your like page to someone. I personally wouldn't outsource my like page because that's where people get to know me, who I am. Maybe outsourcing things like maybe like Ashlie said, like maybe recipes or something that they think would do great on a like page, but I wouldn't outsource my actual like page to someone because I feel like that's my voice and that's where people get to know who I am and all of that. And if someone else is running it, even though they might do a fairly good job of posting things that you would post, it's still not you. And that's really important, because when people join your challenge groups, they join because of you. They connected to you for some reason. They liked you, they connected with you. And if it's someone else, it's not going to be 100% a reflection of who you are. That's me personally. I'm sure there's probably coaches out there who.
Yeah, I think there are coaches that do it, but I feel like I can tell who they are because I go to their page and I'm like, this is not them. This is like not at all them behind here. If you wanted to do that, instead of having them post, you could have them go create a Pinterest board so that you don't have to go search for the inspiration of the motivational things or the recipes or, whatever it is that's about your brand. Have them create a Pinterest board so that all the images are there, and then you can just source straight from there, but you create the actual posts. I do think your voice needs to be attached to that stuff, like Leticia's saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 9:09.
Woo! All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for getting on the call, Leticia, even though you're on your deathbed. Everyone seems to think it was helpful, so that's good. Last question, Kelly. I don't attend the Platinum Edge calls live, but I've listened to several of the recordings. So I guess that's it, right?
Yeah.
Yay! All right. Thank you guys so much for joining. It was an awesome call. Really appreciate you spending an hour of your time with us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.